Well, hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. So it's the end of another weekend, and I didn't get as much done today as I was hoping to, but I think for the overall weekend, I've showed y'all in the other videos, I think I did pretty good. So this was a low spot right here behind the scuppling vines. The root is still there. I doubt it comes back, but you never know. So the last couple of drags I drug out from behind the chicken pens, I just dropped it here and kind of smoothed it out a little bit with the bucket. It ain't perfect. It's not never going to be. The water's going to wash it and do what it wants. But as y'all can see, I'm going to walk right over here. Y'all see the old fence, so I can walk all the way up to the fence. I've still got to clean up the fence line, get in here with a chainsaw and snips and whatever, and cut all this stuff back. A lot of it's coming from the other side of the fence, so I'll just reach through and cut it off and shove the debris back over there. But I've got all this done. That big old waste bush, whatever you call it, something not good for anything, was on their side of the fence, but it was growing this way. So I just pushed it with my bucket and broke it and pushed it back in there. It's privy. It's still up above me. If you follow the limbs down, it's that tree I was pushing. It's hanging down over on my side. And so is this next one, but that one's actually tied in with the fence, so I'm gonna need to cut it off and get that crap out of the way. I got some old vines hanging down right here, but it wouldn't be hard to pull them out, I don't think. That's wrapped up in that tree over there, but it's just 6-8 feet on the other side of the line. So, but I've got it pretty good back here behind the chicken pen, nice and clean. Right through the mower, and the little twigs that are sticking up will get cut off with the mower and it'll be fine. I just want to keep it under control. Like that little privy bush there was growing up through the fence, weaving its way through. The only way I can do that is snip it and take it off in little pieces. Chainsaw probably hit the fence and messed my chain up. So, but I got the old tires and rims my son left here 7-8 years ago that he don't even remember. Old barrels, and this first barrel's rusted out on the lid. It was full of water. But these two, this one was upside down and this one was right side up, but both plugs are in it. So those two barrels I actually bought new, that I had fuel stored in, but they are at least 6, 7, 8 years old, so they'll just be used for burn barrels or something. But I've got it scraped all the way back here to the fence line. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but the fence is there. That's my old underground fence wire, that a little T-post I put in for the underground fence back when I ran it years ago. And there's another one further in. You see the little yellow thing standing out. There's an old telephone pole. So I plan on getting this old table out, getting this dog pen torn down, and getting all this cleaned up as well. But I've also got to get them telephone poles moved. But I think, considering, well, let me walk back here to where the table is. I've only got about maybe 15 feet before I get to where I want the goat pen to end, which will be the same end even with the chicken run. And I'm going to fence it in all the way down the fence line and run behind this chicken fence with goat fencing, and behind the pens all the way down. So I think I've gained quite a bit of yardage for goats. Now, my plan, I don't know how y'all are, but this dog that I rescued off the dirt road a year ago doesn't have a mean bone in his body, at least not that I've seen. He barks at people when they drive up, but he's not aggressive. And I need one to be, but either way, I'm thinking I'm going to try to put him inside this fence when I get the first few goats and see how he does with them, whether he plays with them, that kind of thing. See if I can turn him into a livestock guardian dog, and let him live with the goats in their pen instead of being on that cable up front, because I want an actual guard dog on that front. So that's my plan. Hopefully that'll work out to where he can come in here and live with the goats and have free reign just like the goats inside the pen, no cable or nothing. But y'all see I took the box blade and scraped all the way from the edge of the chicken pens out. All this has been scraped with the bucket and with the box blade. And I even went between the fig trees without taking out the little fig tree. Now I did do a little damage on the bigger fig tree a couple of days ago. I actually picked a ripe fig yesterday and it was really, really good, y'all. Way better than anything you buy in the store. That thing was sweet, it wasn't gritty. I mean, it was awesome. So I took a big bite out of the middle of it and then I threw the rest in there and the turkeys were eating it. But you see I hit this one branch here. Cut it in about halfway really. Wasn't planning on it, but my box blade caught it. And there's only a couple of figs on that limb. The rest of the figs are on the other limb, so I'm probably gonna snip that one off. And it needed pruning back anyway. It's trying to get too wide instead of tall. So I'm planning on cutting a lot of these back that are going out instead of up, and trying to let it focus its energy on the limbs that are going up so that it'll actually be a tree instead of a bush. And my buddy suggested, David, I appreciate this suggestion, relocating that fig tree, see if it'll do better in another spot. So I think I'm going to do that. And this rose bush, it seems like it's drying up pretty bad right now. It's only been a day and a half, 2 days since I moved the tire, but it's loose in the soil in the tire. So I'm thinking about taking that whole plant out of the tire and putting it in that old red big planter that I had on that old raised bed down here that I cleaned up, and put that rose bush in there and just set it in the middle of my fruit orchard so it'll attract some pollinators and so on. That's a big thing. I'll only have to, fertilize it, change the soil every couple of years because it's such a big pot. So that's my idea. May not, I don't know. So I've got a lot to do on the property line, but it's looking pretty good to me. I'm pleased with it. I'm still disappointed in some of these trees, the way they were growing away from all the overgrown mess. They're all leaning northeast, all of them. And I don't want them to go northeast. I want them to grow straight up. So I've talked to my son-in-law that's got a pole saw. We're going to try to cut some of these limbs off that are above the chicken pens. We'll just cut little pieces off at the time so it doesn't destroy the chicken pen when it falls, and prune them back to where it get them off the pen, but there'll still be plenty of shade here for the goats and the chickens in the afternoon. But that'll save me a lot of cleanup crap after every storm too. So I'm pretty well pleased with it. I gained a lot of space back. If I was to fence this in and include it in with the chicken run that they currently have now, it would double their run, no doubt about it. So, and it'd be good for the fruit trees to be fenced in with the chickens. But I think I'm going to try the goats first. And if the goats don't eat my bushes all up and my trees and kill them, because I'm going to plan on putting a gate here just in case. But that's the idea. If the goats kill them, then, I'll have to move the goats out and probably turn it into chicken so they can fertilize the soil like they're doing for the others. But either way, I made some progress. And I know some of you may get tired of this clearing land video, but you know what? This is a homestead channel, and that's part of what I'm doing is cleaning up the homestead as far as clearing property lines and making room for more animals. And my son and I are going to try to clip the wings on the young hens, the teenagers that are just starting to lay. We're going to try to clip their wings this evening once they go to roost. And all 3 of the turkeys' wings need clipping. And I don't know if it's going to stop them, but the brown one flew up and sat on top of the metal gate I've got right there. After I was out here leaning over it, they kept wanting me to throw them some scratch when I'd already thrown some out on the other side. And I just walked away, and that brown one just hopped right up there on top of it like it was nothing. So I walked toward it and it jumped back in the pen. But, you know, I've raised these 3 turkeys and I think they're all boys, but I don't want them to, you know, fly away too easy. So that's my idea, is we're going to clip wings this evening after it gets dark. My daughter and grandkids came over there, dryer tore up, so they came over after church and we enjoyed some family time, and she got her laundry done while she was here. And see, everything I pushed from back there, this old pile here, my little tractor is not big enough to push because we used a skid steer to do this. That is way more powerful than my little tractor. But I pushed it back here behind this other area and still managed to keep my big corner here that's open. So once I get this fenced in, goats of course will eat everything in here, and then I can come in, and once I get all the cedar trees down and all the little bush cut down, I may be able to drag that stuff out and do a burn one day, but you know, that's a good long ways down the road. My first priority right now is to finish this area so that I can get, or this fence line, so I can get the goat pen up here and get it done. My brother's got some goats, and you know, they have babies every year. I'm hoping to get 3 girls, at least 2, but preferably 3, and put the dog in here with them when they're young so that they will learn to get along. I may be doing that wrong, I don't know, but that's my idea. And I gotta get this project done. So just wanted to show y'all the progress I've made. I've got to get them other tires that were around the rose bush moved. I got to get them 5 tires and rims I just pulled out the corner up there moved. I got to get the barrels moved, and then of course get the telephone poles pulled out. And my son cut the grass for me today while I was out here tinkering on the tractor, and you know, place don't look too bad, but I need to get the backhoe attachment connected to the tractor and moved so we can cut that grass. That's a burn barrel. As soon as we've got weather nice enough for me to burn and not worry about setting the state on fire, I plan on doing that. So, whew, the chickens are about to get ready to go to roost. It's because I was out here on the tractor and stuff. Some of them haven't gone, but I got 11 eggs yesterday, I think 10 the day before that, 11 before that, and then I picked up 9 today. I locked them in their pens last night and didn't let them out till well after church. And I still got a couple of eggs off the ground in there, but the rest of them were in nesting boxes. So, but it was only 9. And I came back before my daughter and them left a little while ago. We threw some scraps from dinner and stuff out here to them. And doggone it, there was 2 more eggs. 1 inside the pen and 1 out here on the ground. I don't know how to get them to learn to do that, but you know, it is what it is. It's like Easter egg hunting every day. I have to walk the whole chicken run in every pen to make sure they haven't laid an egg somewhere that they haven't wasn't supposed to lay an egg. But he got all the grass cut. I had them locked up so we could do that. I opened this gate here and he cut all their grass, and I think it looks pretty good. I need to weed eat around the edges and all that stuff, but y'all know I hate weed eating with a passion. Some people love it, not me. But I think it's going to look good once I get the goat pen back there done, and it's close enough to my water source that it wouldn't be anything for me to, you know, I've got a Y on that faucet. I could put a Y here and run a hose right over there into the goat pen to have them an automatic waterer, so I don't have to worry about them running out. And I'm not going to do like the chickens and just pour feed out for them. Not going to do it. I want them to eat as much of the brush and stuff and grass and all that, so I don't have to maintain that fence line anymore. So I'll feed them, but it's not going to be left out there for them to stay full all the time. And this little brown turkey is the one that flew up on the gate, and it always seems to come to me when I come to the fence, but of course none of them want me to touch them. But they're just about full grown, y'all. And I think they're 3 boys. I don't know. I just don't know enough about turkeys. But I'm going to try to grab them, or my son is tonight when it gets dark and they're all on the roost, and clip one wing to see if I can stop them from flying out. If not, and they fly away, then you know what? It is what it is. There's other turkeys wild around me, so they'll be fine, or either they'll fly back in when they get hungry. But guys, I appreciate y'all watching the videos. I appreciate all the likes and the subscriptions. It really means a lot to me and all these small channels. I keep drawing a blank, but I think it's Heartland with something. Dang it. Every time I want to mention that channel on my video, I draw a blank. But, you know, I've mentioned One Day at a Time several times, CNC Farm. Anyway, there's a lot of small channels that could really use support, watch hours, and likes to help get their channel to grow as well. And we all do appreciate it. Y'all remember what I always tell you: Jesus loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe. Be prepared.